There you go. Alrighty, here you go.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? It's always so weird not being able to see everybody, but how many people are on here? 194. Okay, good thing I don't have any fears about presenting. My name is Moe McGuinness, Dr. Moe. I'm Dean of Students at UNT, and wanted to introduce myself, and I'm going to have my Associate Dean introduce herself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Renee McNamara. I'm the Associate Dean of Students here at UNT. I actually got my start at UNT where I met Mo was quite a few years ago when I was an RA here on our campus also. So I'm very excited to be here today. Housing's a wonderful department and happy to be here with you this morning.
And I want to reiterate, so I started at UNT long before you guys were probably even walking, if alive, but back in 1997, I was
a long time ago.
Craig, you are who let him in the waiting room? 1997, I was a hall director at College Inn. Where's our College Inn people? Give me a shout out. Woo woo. No matter what anybody says on Mean Green Family, that's the best place to live. But wanted to say, so yes, housing is where at UNT I started my roots. Renee started hers. You guys are awesome. I will tell you, you're some of the hardest working people on this campus. And we appreciate you very much. We appreciate all that you do. We know you see some things that nobody else will ever see in their lifetime as an undergrad. But I also want to let you know that, that's really how a lot of us in student affairs have gotten our start. And so kudos to you and thank you for all you're going to do in this crazy time of virtual world. So thank you very much for everything you're doing. Thank you for upholding community standards and masks and social distancing and just being who you are. We're really grateful. So thank you. So Renee and I are going to talk to you for a few minutes about the Dean of Students Office and what we do. And I'm going to start with a video here about who we are. Make sure I have that on my screen. You see a video? Somebody give me a thumbs up if you can.
It's not showing up yet.
Okay. It's not showing up at all, or it's not showing up as...
I'm just seeing the PowerPoint still.
Okay. Then I probably...
And I'm one of the coordinators.
I can hear it, but not see it.
Okay. So let's do this. Okay.
There it is.
Okay.
Intervention team. Today I'm going to share with you a little bit about what
I'm going to start it over. Whoop.
Okay.
I'm just not having a lot of luck.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm one of the coordinators on the Dean of Students Intervention team. Today, I'm going to share with you a little bit about what our office can do to assist you as you work towards completing your college degree. We hope that everything goes really smoothly for you, but in the case that you run into unexpected barriers, know that my office is here to help. Our office is really aware of the different resources both on and off campus that can assist college students with a multitude of different concerns, be it a mental health, a financial, an academic concern. We know a lot of the different options that can assist you, and we can connect you to those resources. We also can assist with absence verification in the event that you experience an emergency, and we can assist with things like academic advocacy in the case that you experience a temporary illness or injury during your time here at UNT. Please know that we are here to be a resource for you, and that if you are ever in need of assistance, we encourage you to reach out.
The Student Conduct Staff in the Dean of Students Office educates and develops students through a process of accountability that promotes integrity, responsibility, and growth as we engage students in critical reflection of their choices. The Student Conduct Staff is committed to the protection of the learning environment of the university, the health and safety of the community, and the rights of individual students throughout the process. The Dean of Students Office enforces the Code of Student Conduct. The code explains what conduct is prohibited, the process DOS uses to review reports of alleged misconduct and sexual misconduct, also known as Title IX, by students, and the sanctions that we assign. When students may have violated the code, they meet with a representative from the Dean of Students Office to discuss the alleged allegations in the educational process.
Hi everyone, my name is Caitlin Edgar and I work within the Dean of Students office, and I also assist with managing the food pantry here at campus that's open to currently enrolled students. If you would like to volunteer, donate, or have any questions, please contact us at deanofstudents@unt.edu.
The UNT Survivor Advocate provides support and services to UNT students who've experienced any kind of sexual violence, trauma, or harassment. We're also responsible for creating programming and prevention efforts around the campus surrounding issues of sexual assault awareness.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Moe, the Dean of Students at UNT, and we can't tell you how excited we are to have you join us this fall. You're now part of the Mean Green family, and we're here to help you. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Go Mean Green.
Okay,
Hi, I'm Melissa.
we'll turn that off. So we just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of synopsis of who we are, and Renee and I are going to talk a little bit about, can you see the, are we back on the PowerPoint, Sarah?
It hasn't started sharing yet.
Okay. For the crazy inclined Moe McGuinness, one day I had a student help me. There we go. We good?
Yes.
Okay. I'll tell you a story real quick. One day I had to have student workers help me years ago before I was a little bit more technically inclined. They caught me taking my phone and putting it on the Xerox machine to take pictures. So I didn't know how to do a screenshot back then. Amanda, stop it with the nonverbals. And so I always look to our students to teach me about technology. So yay. Want to kind of have, Renee and I are going to tag team for a few minutes about giving you a little bit more in depth of what we do. And so Renee, do you want to start?
Absolutely. So in the office, I oversee our intervention services programs. So these programs are really designed to help students with a multitude of issues. They're facing any barriers or obstacles while they're here at UNT, helping ensure that all of our students have what they need to be successful here. So this is kind of a few of the things that we do, so I'll talk about them a little bit. We do operate a food pantry out of our office. Thanks to some of the work that Craig has done. It's a beautiful space over in Crumley Hall in the Diamond Eagle Suite. Due to kind of everything that has been going on currently, we have altered operations a little bit. So we are open, but we are doing curbside pickup in the future. And we'll see that going probably for the remainder of the fall semester at this point. So if a student is in any need of food ever, we have a link that they can fill out, and then we'll schedule a time for them to come to the pantry. We are to maintain social distancing and to decrease the number of people at the pantry at any given time. We'll assign students a time slot to come, but they can come, order their food kind of ahead of time. We'll pre-package a bag for them. They can just show up during their time slot. We'll give them a bag of food, make sure they know about any other resources that are available. So that's a great resource for students who might need it. It's also a way if you're ever looking for any service projects for your wing. Lots of times we have students in the halls do food drives or do other ways to be able to donate to the pantry to help students who might have need for that. Seeking Options and Solutions program is designed to help students facing any barriers or obstacles outside the classroom. So we know that students have things that happen outside of academics. Maybe they have a family emergency and they have to travel home for a little bit. Maybe they have a funeral and they're going to miss class. Maybe they get sick and they're not going to be able to go to class for a while. Maybe their financial aid didn't go through and so they're struggling with how they're going to make their payments this semester. So our staff through that team really just wants to help ensure that our students are aware of all the different resources and support services, both on campus as well as in the community, to make sure that they have the support that they need and to help them come up with ways so they can stay enrolled. And help them reach what their goals are. And that kind of goes under the absence verification and pregnancy and parenting issues. If students have, if they get sick or they're going to miss class, instead of having to take their doctor's notes to every professor they have, they can just bring it to our office and we can just email their professors and advocate on their behalf so they're not having to share their personal medical information with everybody on this campus. We can kind of advocate on their behalf for that. Mo, do you want to take the next couple?
Sure. So just going back to and kind of connecting the absence verification kind of things. We're also doing that for our students that are diagnosed with COVID and reaching out. So we're working significantly with the COVID hotline and making sure we take care of those students. So know that that is something we're jumping in and helping with this fall. Students complain often about all different things, and so usually there's a policy that helps them in regards to taking care of those complaints. So for example, if they didn't get ODA accommodations and they believe they should, if there is a grade appeal, they don't agree with the grade that they got, there are different policies that help students with those kinds of things. But if there's something that doesn't fall within a policy and they want to address the issue, we also field student complaints. There is a policy on that actually, and it's something that we do for our SACS accreditation. So and there's a website here, if you just keep going to report.unt.edu, all of these things that we're kind of talking about, you can go as a housing employee or student employee and let us know about somebody. Again, our processes don't trump what you're being taught in housing and what their protocols are, but know that if you're in a class with somebody and you want to make sure we're aware of somebody going on, or if you want to make sure that we know something, even though you've reported up through housing, you're more than welcome to do that, but please make sure that you follow the things that you're learning and training for sure. And then Renee, do you want to talk about student initiated withdrawals?
Absolutely. So if a student thinks that they maybe don't want to finish out the semester, they think that they want to withdraw from the university, they're required to meet with one of our staff members, because oftentimes there are other solutions and options that students might not be aware about. I cannot tell you the amount of students we've helped maybe get incompletes for the semester, or maybe, we can drop a couple of classes but keep them rolling other. We had a student once that we were able, multiple times we've been able to move some of their classes to online classes, swap out different sections, because some students, they will face a challenge, or they think that withdrawing is their only option. So before a student leaves, we want to make sure they understand that, hey, here are all the other options that are available. Let's make sure you're able to make the most informed decision, make the best decision for you. And if they do decide to withdraw, making sure they understand any potential implications, and making sure that they understand that, UNT can always be their place for them to come back to. We will make sure that if they do decide to withdraw, that they have the information that they need, so when they want to come back, or if they decide they want to come back, they know what resources are available and how we can help them out with that.
We all know that Virginia Tech back in 2007, when you guys were much younger, changed the demographics of higher education, and we also learned from that tragedy that if individuals across the campus might have talked about a student, it might have been something that prevented the shooting. And so what happened from that were individual colleges and universities came up with behavior intervention teams. We decided to call ours the CARE team because we believe behavior falls under the Code of Student Conduct. And we're looking at students and faculty and staff that might be a threat to themselves or others, and started the CARE team. And so I'll let Renee kind of give a little bit more information on that.
And so the way our CARE team operates is we have a staff member who's on call every day. And so if there are any referrals that come through, and referrals can come from anybody, they can come from faculty, staff, other students, parents. We have students who refer themselves, students that there are concerns about threat to themselves, threat to others, and they want to make sure that these students are connected to different resources. So oftentimes that's our counseling center, maybe it's psychiatric services to our health and wellness center, maybe community resources, but our goal is we will make sure that students have what they need to be safe here on our campus. So we talk to them, make sure they kind of know about all these different resources and get them connected to whatever services they might need so they can be successful here.
And then the fun part of the other part of our job is the upholding the Code of Student Conduct. And this is where a lot of times, actually, you're going to help us with a lot of these different things in regards to students and your impact. But one thing for sure in regards to the Code of Student Conduct is if a student has alleged to violate it, whether it's alcohol or drugs or Title IX, sexual misconduct, dating violence, domestic violence, and stalking, those are definitely things that we want to be aware of. Housing has their own links to report these kinds of behaviors, so I'll leave that to Latoya. I think she's in the room somewhere. There she is. And she's the guru for all things conduct and housing, and she works directly with our office and is spectacular at what she does. So I'm going to leave it to her to kind of make sure that you guys are trained that way. I think she has a couple different times she gets to work with you and the hall director, community directors. But students, many times we use this as a definite education. If we can, we also have to look at the threats to the community, right? And so some people will say oftentimes, well, how does my suspension help be educational? Well, your suspension, and you only get suspended at UNT for some pretty significant things, whether that's violence or drugs or things like that that impact the community. And we look at the residence halls a little bit more detailed too in regards to that. If somebody's violating the code, they're also impacting possibly the community in which you live, in which you're an RA, and keeping that area safe. And so we do a lot of investigations over in the Dean of Students office, and community directors and Latoya do it as well as arms of our office for dealing with issues in their residence halls when they're minor. And so making sure that students, both person and virtually can violate the code, right? Students are accountable for what they do on and off campus. And so that's something to make sure that you're aware of, and making sure that we address the issues appropriately, because safety is the biggest thing. Now, I do want to talk about masks for a little bit. And you know, masks, a lot of people we're probably going to get a bunch of reports. We're trying not to have to deal with it as a disciplinary piece. If somebody continues to be non-compliant, we will, but we want to handle it very similar to how the smoking policy is, and that we are doing our own individual addressing of encouraging people to address it as, hey, these are our standards and this is what we value at the University of North Texas, and we expect you to wear masks. And so that is what we're hoping that happens. And I know you guys are getting trained on how to deal with that in the halls, on when it's appropriate, those kinds of things. So masks and lack of social distancing will probably be something I can write a book chapter about after this semester. So stay tuned. And then the other things that we make sure that we look at are active duty military, and Renee, I'll let you talk about that.
Absolutely. So under the Texas Education Code, students have rights if they are called to any type of active duty military. So whether that's a training for a week or they get called to go overseas for a while, they have rights under the Texas Education Code. So all I need, if you have a student who tells you that they're going to be called to active duty, or maybe they're National Guard and they've been called for a week training, just have them get copies of their military orders to me. And I can use those orders to advocate to professors and look at all the, allowing them to make up any coursework. They can't be penalized essentially if they are called to anything active duty related. So reaching out to the professors, making sure that they're allowed to make up any exams that they missed, make up any homework, or talking to them, you know, are incompletes an option for them if they're going to be gone for a while, or what can we do to make sure that they're able to finish out that semester and make up any work.
And then finally, one of the things, the new initiatives we're going to focus on this year is helping our homeless students. And I know you all live in housing and have a bed to stay in, but many times we are continually finding out a number of our students that couch surf, that sleep in their cars, that might sleep in the library and shower in the rec. And so our initiative this fall is to look at how do we serve our homeless students and how can we help them a little bit more. We're actually partnering with a graduate class for the Department of Anthropology, and they're going to gather some data for us by talking to students in the fall. And so working with them, seeing what we can do to serve our students better. But if you hear of somebody, you might, you know, when you are a student leader, and I highly believe that RAs and RLAs, excuse me, are significant leaders on college campuses, that people seek you out, whether or not that they are on your floor. And so knowing that if there's a homeless student that reaches out to you, or a food insecure student, to make sure that you know, to connect them with us so that we can help them along the way. So we have a few minutes for questions. What kind of questions do you have?
Mo, I'll look at the chat and read them out loud since it's recording so that we can, so if anything gets posted, I'll go ahead and read it out loud.
That would be great.
Now's the time. You've got Mo for another 5 minutes or so. So ask away.
I'm really jealous of all of you that get to be in your room with your blankets.
Comment. This isn't necessarily a question regarding this presentation, but will there be counselors provided for housing staff? So we will still have the housing counselors on campus. They're still operating out of Maple, and they will actually be leading our QPR session tomorrow. The next question, Mo, is for you. Do you all help with food stamp applications?
I'll jump in on that one. And actually, yes, we do. So we have partnered with the North Texas Food Bank, and they come out, historically, they come out once a month and help students apply for the SNAP benefits. And we are moving it to virtual though this semester. So I've already worked with them. So we'll be doing Zoom workshops this semester on a monthly basis. We are also going to have them record one. So that way we have a recording of the walkthrough of how the training goes too. So we can share that with any students who might need that. But yes, we do help with that.
Do students have to schedule a meeting with DOS?
We do walk-ins all the time. Our office will completely be open this fall unless something happens, but we're open. We will have a limited staff here, but also virtually. You can call to schedule an appointment if you want to guarantee a certain person, or email any one of us. I'm real big many times if you need to talk to me and you can't get me 8 to 5 to call you after hours. But yes, you could walk in, see if you want to talk to somebody, if somebody's available, or we could do it virtually, in person, practicing social distancing. My office is big enough, we can do that here. Any one of the above.
Victory mentioned that a lot of students are experiencing anxiety right now, especially with everything going on related to COVID, and just asking about counseling for that, or
Sure. And I heard a great quote last night that I think is very accurate, is anxiety is highly contagious. And I believe in this situation that we are in, that is very true. We're going to probably see, we are getting ready to probably see more care team referrals than we've had in the past. And so basically, if you believe somebody's a threat to themselves or others, please feel free to get them to the care team. If you believe somebody just needs to go to counseling, you're more than welcome to connect them yourself. There's a lot of different options, and you are hearing from counselors tomorrow, so they can tell you all the different ways that they can help. But don't be afraid to, I mean, I'm real big on asking people how you're doing. And then I ask, no, how are you really doing? And having those kind of conversations with our team too. So, and here's the other thing, taking care of yourself. An RA job, an HA job, those are definite jobs that you need to make sure you're taking care of yourself. So please make sure that you're doing that too.
Absolutely. The last question is, does DOS have masks for students?
We're going to. We've ordered some, and we will have some available for sure.
Do you have some right? Someone said right now, I'm guessing.
I can get some. That's easy.
Yeah, if you also, as staff, if you need masks, we have masks as housing to be given out. But if you want like UNT DOS masks, then we don't have there.
We have a couple different options, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only other question I have is about the reason for changing how we're doing training. And I can definitely talk about that. Ultimately, we want to make sure that the social distancing is followed as closely as possible. So to eliminate y'all's meeting, congregating, all of that, We wanted to set up training originally to mirror how classes would work in the fall, where you would social distance and, you know, watch sessions remotely. But we are moving forward with this. So just to keep you guys safe. I think it's the best option for right now.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
again, we just want to reiterate how much Renee and I and our entire team value you guys and what you're going to do. It's an exciting year for you. I'm definitely one that believes the glass is not half full, the glass is not half empty, it's refillable. So continue to seize the opportunities that you might have in front of you. We also understand that you're students and you might need assistance, and feel free to get students to us, but feel free to use our resources to get that you might need as a student. And we appreciate you all very, very much. Wash your hands, wear a mask, social distance.
Absolutely.
Have a great day. Go Mean Green.
Going green. Okay, so I'm going to stop this recording, and then we will take a 5-minute break before we go right into incident report writing. So everyone get up and, you know, stretch, get some water, whatever you need to do. And then we'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay. Thank you.
So wait, so we stay on this call for the incident?
Yes. Don't leave.
Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't leave.
It's going to take you back in. It's going to take forever to get back in. Just turn off your video. All right. Thank you.